Hey boys and girls, it's Dennis. It's been a while since I did videos and all that, for the simple reason that videos take a lot of time. Since the Manchester Expo a month or so ago, which went pretty good in my opinion, I've been hard at work on a mix of commissions and basically trying to take me out in a slightly different direction. In a nutshell, some of the stuff that I was checking out that other people were doing, the basic gist was everybody seems to be doing fan-based stuff rather than their own personal thing. I mean, well, there was one or two interesting ones. I mean, there was this guy he's got his own little mini comic, and there's like loads of people who had their own comics, and like these guys were pretty good. The folk who do editions and so on. I won't run through the whole thing. I do still need to do like either a blog post or just a regular update on the website with everyone I chatted to and that. But in essence, what I got out of the convention was if I want people to be interested in my own work, if I want people to be interested in Wormwood and Heirs to the Throne, it either needs to be finished or I already need to be super popular. And while I'm still working on them, Wormwood has definitely taken a back burner seat. The concept is done. The plot breakdown, character breakdown, the general structure and everything, that's done. That's pretty much locked now. What, obviously, the next phase with Wormwood, the game, is just expanding the universe. I've got pages and pages and I've got a whole box file full of material just for Wormwood. That's a universe which I'll be elaborating on and exploring a lot more in detail in future work. However, for the time being, I'm leaving it alone. And the main thing that I'm working on is Heirs to the Throne, the comic that I came up with a concept for Heirs to the Throne way back in 2004, 2005, something like that. And I've been working on and off it for a few years. I actually started it nearly 2 years ago, actually doing it, the pages, the artwork and everything. But I hadn't finished writing it. That's the problem. So I kind of stopped very early on because, well, first of all, I'm not that good a writer, which I'll hold my hand up and admit. I can come up with the concept and the story and the key moments and the beats of the story and all the dramatic stuff that happens. But when it comes down to the actual the writing part of writing, making the characters sound like they're not just reading dialogue or something, the intricacies of it, it's a bit difficult for me. Plus the plot, there was a lot of stuff where it's like, whoa, they do this, and then this happens, and then this happens, but it was very hard to see how the characters got from A to B to C. I was trying to figure out, well, why doesn't the character just go and do this? Why would the character not just do this instead? And so on and so forth. Writing stuff. So I've spent the past month or so going back to step one. Basically, I've gone right back to the beginning, and I've basically, I don't even know if it's going to be a 6-issue comic. It could be more. It could be less. I've just basically taken everything apart and I'm starting again from scratch. A few characters have changed considerably. Some characters haven't been touched, you know. The general beats and the general idea of the story I want to tell, this whole family of backstabbing assholes who are trying to, manipulate, betray, and backstab each other, is definitely something that I really want to do. I've always been a fan of, the sort of, I don't know, Agatha Christie sort of, not murder mystery as such, but it's like that sort of upper class family dynamic, big houses with no morals, and all the little the twisted stuff that goes on behind closed doors with them, and I just think there's real meat. There's real things that you can do with a story with those sort of characters, and this is definitely one that I've had running around in my head for years. So I want to give it the best treatment it deserves. I don't want to just shove it out there. I don't want to rush it. It's like saying, oh yeah, issue 1's going to be ready for this December's convention or something. No. I'd be amazed if I have half of issue 1 done for the February London convention, which I will be going to. I will be going to that one. I'm looking forward to that. In an ideal world, I could go to the one in London in a few months' time, but it's more of a short notice because I've got the America trip. I'm going over to Memphis in about 3 weeks' time. So that takes precedence. That's the more important thing for me. But I'm really working hard on getting everything I need to done for Heirs to the Throne. I want this plot to be solid, or as solid as it has to be. I'm not looking for it's not fantasy. I mean, the rules of the universe are fairly grounded, even if it is a goofy animal character sort of thing. But I want it to be believable within the confines of the universe. Will I ever do anything else with these characters? Well, you're going to have to read the comic to find out the answers to that. Vblog himself is a character who obviously I've got a lot of connection to because he has functioned as almost my online persona for a few years. So it's sort of like it's my cinema snob, my nostalgia critic, the character that I like to play. But just to clarify, is not me. This is not some author insert persona. I mean, DeVillo's an asshole. He is a devious, manipulative, backstabbing, sleazy piece of shit. But the core of the character and kind of the core of the whole story is this guy is the best case scenario out of his environment, the family that he comes from. It's almost like Dallas has just come back recently, so I guess it's a decent comparison, that sort of wealthy landowner style family, large sprawling, manipulative SOBs, everyone's out for themselves. He's kind of the sort of character who is definitely out for himself, but is more sort of a Jack Sparrow in terms of he doesn't generally wish harm on anyone, and if he can, he'll try and give people, a helping hand, if it doesn't put him out of pocket or anything, But yeah, compared to his family members, he's a fucking saint. Dexter, Michael C. Hall. Dexter was a massive inspiration in terms of the tone of writing as well. That sort of rich, dark, black humour, and like the inner monologues that the character has. I've not watched the show for a while actually, so once the plot is finally finished, I've got like that's 80% done. It's just the finale that I'm trying to bring together. The main bits and pieces are there. It's just the finale that needs a final bit of tweaking before I can properly call it finished. But yeah, Dexter and that sort of dark inner monologue, you know, like the whole point with DeVillo is he's a lot smarter than he lets on. He acts like a jackass. He acts like a, hello ladies, yo, how you doing? Whereas in reality he's just this, you know, very boiled down, I'm gonna do what it takes to survive. Just lead, follow, get out of my way, whatever, you know. But I tried to make him as likeable as that sort of character can be. So, and the best way to do that is surround that character by far more dislikable characters. So, definitely not a hero, anti-hero is definitely the description I'd go with. I still need to figure out a few basic character design things as well. I mean, I've done artwork for a ton of the characters. You know, I've done turnaround sheets. I even brought some of them to the expo, and I got some good feedback from people. It's just that there's so much that's in my head at the moment, which I've not been able to put down on paper, which kind of bugs me because I feel that the thing is with me and my work, I'm a magpie. I start one project and then it's like, oh, I want to do this, and it's like, you know, with commissions and so on, I then start doing things for other people, and then something else doesn't get me full attention, which means that I'm always working, which is not a bad thing. If I get bored of a project, I can easily jump to something else and be working on that instead. The bad thing about that is, I currently have, we're talking at least 6 projects, you know, not almost including commissions and stuff that I've actually been paid for. So, me and time management and, you know, focus and priorities is an issue. I admit that. It's a big fucking issue, and something I am seriously trying to work on. But I honestly think that things are moving along now at a good pace. So yeah, the plots and everything will be done very soon for Heirs to the Throne, the comic, and then I can get to work on character designs and so on. Anyways, I started this talking about the convention. What I found the most interesting about the convention and what other people were doing is all the fan-related stuff. I was on a table and next to me were these 2 girls, and they did some awesome artwork. One of them had a load of My Little Pony plushes that she'd made herself, which were badass, really freaking good. And the other one had this really awesome artwork. You know, it's just like simple stuff, like a fox with a chicken on its head, you know, which looked beautiful, really beautiful artwork. And the most popular thing that sold at my own table was the fan art stuff. People barely looked at the Wormwood stuff, the 3D modelled stuff and everything. I got 1 or 2 comments from that guy with the glasses fans, actually, which was pretty cool. You know, 1 or 2 people who criticised me on the Dr. Insano outfit. There was the whole Spoonie thing. whatever, guys, you're entitled to your opinions. All I'm going to say is I'm entitled to like whoever and whatever I like. And you are entitled to like what you like. It's cool. But yeah, some really cool people. And the basic gist was fan stuff. And it's kind of obvious when you think about it. Fan stuff did better because people recognise it. They know it. If I'm going to a convention, I don't know if, the Astonishing Cheezar is any good, because I've never heard of it before. But I do know that that guy's Batman comic is probably going to be something I'm picking up because I like Batman. It may not be an official product and all that, but it's something they've drawn themselves at least, and it's something recognisable. So that's the reason why I've made a conscious effort to do regular artwork and regular updates that's more fan-related stuff. I've recently been experimenting with a new style where all the details in the line art, so it's black and white line art, and then it's just flat colour with a little bit of texture. There's no like shading or highlights or anything like that. And I did this Halo picture involving a bunch of blue Spartans and a red elite, and because the most popular selling picture was something I did 4 years ago, and it was the Halo grunt with a sticky grenade on its head running around going, "Oh my god!" Everybody loved that. Everybody. So yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. More video game based stuff, more recognisable stuff, funny stuff, recognisable and everything. I've also been going on a bit of a nostalgia animation thing recently. On Saturday nights there's this live stream called Cine Radio, and it's by one of the people who was involved in Project Million, LC. Funny guy, I like him. And basically he has this thing called the Geekgasm, where it's like tons and tons of clips and opening titles of Thunder! Well, Thundercats is one of them, actually. It's all cartoons. And so on and so forth, and it's really interesting stuff to see all this stuff that I remember as a kid, and I thought, well, why not do stuff like that? So the first thing I did was this crossover with like Dreamstone and Gummy Bears, which I think did okay. I mean, I've not watched either of the shows since I was a kid, but the artwork, I think, speaks for itself. It holds up and all that. And people who know me know that I have an issue with drawing safe for work stuff. I find it a lot more profitable in the long run to do more adult-themed work. But in this instance, I really wanted to try and focus on an all-ages general audience. And I think it's working out really well so far, so we'll just see how things go there. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, just a very brief video blog to let people know that I'm still alive, I am working, and there's going to be plenty more stuff. One final thing before I go, because I'm terrified the thunder's just going to electrocute me. One final thing before I go. World of Warcraft Mr. Pandaria is coming very soon. They released a cinematic trailer about 2 weeks ago. It looks fucking amazing. It's a mini movie. It's genius. It's funny. It gets the message across. I love it. I don't know if I'm going to play this game. I want to. I don't have the time. I don't know. It's something that I'm really going to have to, sit down and hammer out and think about, but I don't know if I have the time. The money won't be too much of an issue, I don't think, because it's affordable. And let's put it this way, if I get it, I'm getting the collector's edition, because at the very least, I want the DVD and everything. It's just, I don't know if I can sink enough time into another MMO when I'm supposed to be producing all this stuff. So we'll just see how things go, but I strongly recommend people check out that cinematic at least, and some of the stuff from the beta, because pandas are fucking awesome. Oh yeah! So, anyway, that's my phone ringing, and that's a sign I'm gonna get going. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Deadly Premonition thing. Bum 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 bum.